Hi, Katie here with another scrapbook layout. I am working today with some pictures of my puppy. He went to the lake for the first time, and this was his first time in water, and he is absolutely my baby. So he has his own scrapbook, and this is just one of the many layouts that I have started with. So I picked out some lilac colored cardstock to use as the background. I am following sort of a two-page layout sketch just to get some ideas, but I deviate from the sketch quite a bit. But I see it's kind of hard to tell in this video, but this ombre kind of paper has some gold foiling on it, almost as though it's kind of a fish scale look. I got this in a paper pad probably a year and a half ago or so at Joann's, and it is all very beachy, oceanic kind of feel to it, so I thought it would work nicely for our lake layout. So I want to line up my papers so that it kind of looks like it's continuous from one page to the next. I think that kind of brings some continuity to a double page layout. And then I really had a hard time figuring out exactly how I wanted my photos. I cut them down to be 4x4, except for the one there on the left. That one is about 5x4. And the sketch had 4x6 photos in it. So I decided to kind of go rogue from my sketch and work with my 4x4 photos. And as you can see, I am mounting them on this kind of teal colored cardstock. In the paper pad that the patterned paper came from, it had this really cool teal green color with gold foil, and it had a really cool kind of corally design. I thought about using that, but because of the gold foil on the kind of fish scale that I already have, I thought that was just too much. So I decided on just a similar color solid cardstock to mount my photos. I really like to mount my photos on cardstock because I feel like it just kind of makes them stand out a little more on the layout, and that's the whole reason I do these. So I definitely want them to stand out. So as you can see, I can't fit my last 4x4 photo on one piece of cardstock. So instead of getting out another piece, which I had right next to me, I decided to kind of Frankenstein this piece so that it would look like a complete mat, even though it is two pieces of cardstock, which honestly you can't even tell. So I think that was a good choice, and it saved me from cutting into another brand new sheet of cardstock. So now I am looking at the back side, that little fish pattern. That's the back side of that patterned gold foiled ombre kind of paper that I have on the back. And I'm using some Fisker's punches. I've got the really cool interchangeable set, and it's got a little scaly pattern on it. So I do that on both sides of this little scrap. So sorry for the video shaking. It definitely moves my table a little bit to put all the force on that punch. And then I'm going to go ahead and just slice that right down the middle so I can use a piece for each side of my layout. So when I'm putting them on the sides, I just notice like this doesn't really do anything for me. You can't really tell. It doesn't stand out, and I'm also not focusing on fish for my layouts. So I grabbed just a scrap over here. Oh, just kidding. I look for another piece. This is the backside of another paper from that paper pad. I thought that green might look kind of nice, but because I didn't have it anywhere else in the layout, I thought it looked a little bit funky. So I just grabbed that background cardstock that I had before. And I go ahead and cut that just an inch smaller. I'm sorry, just half an inch smaller than the pattern cardstock. And I cut a little piece for each side. And then I want them to kind of like be mirror images, so to speak, I use my little Tombow tape runner. I, as you can see in the video, also have a Herma tape runner from the EK Success Tools, and it spits out little mounting squares. I originally got into that just because when I really started scrapbooking, on my own, buying my own supplies, that was a much less expensive way than the tape runners that it seemed like I just flew through. But now I'm starting to lean to the tape runners. So I've got the little Tombow and the Herma. Use them interchangeably, but I use both of them quite a bit and like them a lot. Looking at my layout, I see that the cardstock really makes that extra little scalloped border pop a lot more, and I like it quite a bit more. I recently got these white Jelly Roll pens. I saw that another YouTuber uses these, and I was in desperate need of a white pen. So I picked a few of them up at Joann's, and it really does work very nicely. It writes bright white on, any color cardstock that I've tried it on so far, and I really enjoy it. It writes really smoothly. So definitely one I will keep purchasing. So here I'm just cutting the journaling card down just a little bit. Honestly, it was just a scrap. I didn't measure it or anything. And you're going to see me here Frankenstein another mat on the journaling card just because I am too lazy to get another piece of paper, I suppose, or I don't really want to waste all of a whole sheet of paper on this. Now, this little piece that you see, this little piece of the teal cardstock, this was all that I had left from my original 12 by 12 sheet. So I am looking to kind of give the journaling box a little shelf. I kind of thought that because it had the white mat on it, it just was getting lost. And when I put just that little piece of the teal blue cardstock on the back of it, it really drew your eyes to that journaling. And in my opinion, and I think it is the opinion of many scrapbookers, your photos are most important and your journaling is also super important. So I definitely want to make sure that is visible and one of the main things that you see when you're looking at one of my layouts. Now, I am popping these up on little foam dots, and unfortunately right now I only have the teeny tiny little dots. They're just the Park Lane brand from Joann's, and they work fine, but I do need to get some larger foam squares so that I don't have to use a million on something like this. But you're going to see me do it again here because I just want to have some extra dimension to this layout. And it does take a while to peel off all those little pieces, but it's definitely worth it. I really like the effect that it gives to my layout. So on this side, this first page of my 2-page spread, I really struggled with how I wanted my photos to come together. I really like to layer my photos and give them that extra dimension. I think it just is more visually interesting and I enjoy doing it. But I, of course, did not want to cover up my adorable little subject of my photos at all. So I struggled a little bit with how I wanted to nestle these photos together and make them, sit nice and pretty. And one thing that I really like to do, and I've noticed a lot of other scrappers doing, is when you nestle your photos together, overlap them, creating layers that are uneven is most appealing visually. At least that's what I have noticed. And you do not want to have, a line of a photo perfectly match up with another one. And it really does give your layout more interest. And you see now, there I am peeling off a million little foam dots again. But it's okay. Again, when you see the layout in person, you can really see the difference that the texture makes. So now I am getting out these thickers. They are ones that I just got today, and I was super excited to use them. They're a little summer themed, and I absolutely love them. I go ahead and pick out the words sun-kissed because this was in the summer, and I mean, doesn't that puppy just basking in the sun look adorable? I'm biased, I must say. So I go ahead and put the second word on because I knew where I wanted the layout to end. I'm sorry, where I wanted the title to end, but I wasn't quite sure about where I wanted it to start. So I put the second word on first. Then I grab a few of the little gold hearts from that thicker set and put them on there. Now I've got some Delusions ink spray that I've just taken the cap off of, and I am just kind of flicking on my layout just to add a few little dots, little speckles, trying to give it a little finishing touch, if you will, on that kind of lilac color. I grabbed just a scrap of packaging that I pulled out of my scrapbooking trash can and put over my photos because I don't want any of my splatters to end up on my photos, and it works pretty well. A few of the little splatters get on the pattern paper, and that doesn't bother me. Little bits on the journaling card, you can still read it. It doesn't bother me. So I'm looking at my layout and I see I need to add just a little bit more. So that orange piece is just a piece of fun foam that I have. I thought it would make a nice backing. It would absorb the ink well so I wouldn't get it all over everything. And now I want to add just a little something extra. So I pull out some ephemera. First I look at one from Echo Park, and I don't really think that's what I want to use. So I grab the new one from Amy Tangerine, Picnic in the Park, and I just dump it all out right in front of me and pull out a few pieces. I really like the cute little red one that says pretty much perfect because, again, as a biased dog mom, I think my pup is. And I just think that it was so cute that he, came to the lake with us, and he loved the boat. He hated the water, but, he's learning, I hope. So I grab a few more pieces. I like to just kind of put them around, look at it, see if I like it first. I grab a few more of those cute little gold hearts because I just think they work really well on the layout. Something that is awesome about these, a few of them have glitter, and I love it. So I grab a few more, put them down. I really like what a little ephemera adds to a layout. So I grabbed this last piece and I put it down. That'll be it for our layout. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.